Okay, here we are back again for the hopefully last time on this 1984 D roll. I wanted to show you guys something. I have another camera set up here. I have a live camera set up, and I wanted to show you guys this extraordinary 1939 cent that I found. I know there's a few little specks on it, a few little fleck marks and stuff, but if I could translate to you just how bright this shines, you would truly get and understand. I mean, it is simply sparkling. It's so bright. It's probably the best 1939 S Lincoln cent I've ever seen. No, sissy. I didn't find this one actually until I came back to North Carolina. And this one the same. I just found this one a few days ago. But this is probably the cleanest 1970 S I've ever seen. Yes, it's a large date, but it's very likely an MS-67 coin. Here's the reverse of that coin. Just absolutely sparkling. Okay, so there's that. I just wanted to have a chance to show you guys that before we moved on. And went back into the stream. Those will be sent off in the relatively near future to NGC for grades. No, it's probably you. The video breakup. Let me get this turned back on. Managed to get Mama over to get her card. And we are on coin number 19. Little tiny recap, 1 through 18. We didn't find much of anything, but we're still hoping. All right, number 19 now for Ant. And here is coin number 19. That's a 1984D, just like the rest. And I don't see anything here on the obverse. Let's flip it to the reverse and see what we can see on the reverse. Hello, Sissy and Richard. Malcolm came back. Deadhead's coin. Good evening to you. So now we're going to have lag issues. Okay. Well, I'll just do the best I can to make it through all this. Taco John. Taco John up next. It's about, I'm going to say 5-6 days ago, while I was gone to Florida, my beautiful wife and my stepson went to the steakhouse to eat, and she paid for dinner and left her card there. She's going to be traveling for work early in the morning tomorrow and needs her card with her. She has to be at the airport at 6 a.m. So we didn't really have any choice but to take her over and get her card this evening. And she cannot see well to drive in the evening, which means she doesn't really trust her own driving at night. And I'm sure there's a lot of other people out there who can appreciate that. So I drove her over to the restaurant to get her card, retrieve her card, get it back into her wallet so that she'll have it with her when she's in Florida this week. She comes back from Florida at the end of the week, And in about 2 weeks, I go back to Florida. Back to Florida. Go and visit with my father. Visit Parvis for a little while. And visit with Eric. Yeah, the girls are here. The girls I care about, though, Sissy, Kelly Ray, and the rest of our wonderful female collecting clan. Do have a couple of them here in the audience this evening. Good evening to Sissy. Hey, Brian. We're just looking at an 84D roll, hoping we can find something worthwhile in it. Haven't seen much of anything here yet. And we're up to coin number 23 now. This one goes to Parvis. And here is, not the best looking coin in the world. I tell you, this one's got kind of spotty, kind of icky. Unfortunately, I got nothing to replace these with. That's right. Sissy and Brian know each other now. They've had dinner at the same restaurant together. That's why we do these get-togethers when we have major shows to go to. You get to know some of the people who we see on a regular basis but don't really see, if you understand what I'm saying. And here is the reverse for that coin. Don't see anything here yet, and we're just about at the middle of the roll. A lot of the early 80s you're going to find are going to be very hit and miss rolls. Very hit and miss, meaning if you hit, you're going to hit great. But most of the time, you're not going to hit at all. And this looks like what we should expect most of the time with 1984 D rolls. However, you never know. If you're one of the gambling type, you have got to gamble on these rolls, because it's the only way you're going to find the stuff that's actually very difficult to find. You have to try. Without trying, you definitely will not find them. Here's one for Crispy. Crispy up next. And we got Otis here. Let's see what we can find for Otis, if anything here. Giving it a shot. Trying to come up with something hopeful. Nothing there. Find good stuff at the show. I found good stuff at the show. Came back with, probably close to a double row box full of stuff. Brian, well, Brian had a lot of fun. Brian found a nice 1941 41 plain proof. Pretty nice one. I think Eric ran into some good stuff. He pulled a bunch of rolls. Brian found a hangover, but it took him quite a while to find it. This one here from Malcolm. Hello, Carl. Number 30 now. Sissy. I'm sorry, yeah, number 30. This will be number 30 for Sissy. No doubling do I see so far. The first 5 or 6 years of the zinc cents, basically 1982 to 1988. That would be 7 years, 4 or 6 years, something like that. Experienced a lot of problems. A lot of striking issues. A lot of planchet flow issues. Turned out to be a quality control nightmare. So finding the zinc coins from 82 through 88 are, let's just say, challenging in really good condition. Really nice shape. Especially for 1983 and 1984. If you find a really nice roll of either one of those years, you need to try to preserve it best you can. Number 32 now. Carl. Carl showed up just in the nick of time to see this coin of his come up under the scope, and we have... looks like nothing there. Let's check the reverse and see. Got nothing there either. Got the auction coming up tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Going to be doing a number of singles, nice coins. We're going to have a row box that contains a nearly complete partial set of early Lincolns. Going to have an album with some really nice Lincolns, even mint set Lincolns in it. It's going to be a Dansko album for cents. Goes all the way back to about 1920. Got some pretty ones in there. Going to have a Whitman folder. Nothing necessarily huge to speak of, but the Whitman folder is the classic style, and it might be a good beginner album for somebody. That's coming up tomorrow. Also bringing back the Name Your Price grab bags. You basically tell me how much you want to spend, and I'll find double that in value to include in your package for you. No matter how much you tell me you want to spend, I will find double that in retail value to put in your package. And that'll make us both happy because I get to clean out inventory and you get to take advantage of it. Also working here on selling a singles sale, a singles pull. We're pulling BU wheat pennies just like we did a couple of weeks back. Getting people involved in that. Max of 10 coins at $3.50 a piece. I'll probably split the show into two. Count up the total number of coins that we will be pulling and divide it by 2 and do 2 shows. I just prefer rum and Coke. That works for me. Thank you very much. So, that's what we have coming up tomorrow. Eric has 4 additional reveals to do this week, and I have 4 to do this week. Eric's are already in there scheduled. Mine will be scheduled tomorrow. Sorry about the sniffles. My allergies seem to have suddenly taken a hold of me. You found a DDO in your nickel pools? That's awesome. Really nice. So if you happen to have some extra change and you want to spend some on coins, tomorrow is your day to be there, because we're going to have a lot of good stuff. Is it the right time of year for salted caramel? You say caramel or you say caramel? And is caramel and caramel 2 different things? I don't know. Don't mean like caramel, like California. I mean like caramel. A lot of people pronounce it caramel. Caramel or caramel? Caramel, three syllables. Or caramel, 2 syllables. I've heard a lot of people pronounce it one way or the other, and I guess I am an oddity. Well, we already knew that. But I guess in that word, caramel, I am an oddity because I use the 2 different pronunciations for 2 different meanings. That's right. Caramel is a candy or a concoction, a flavor, caramel flavor. And caramel is a color, caramel brown. Sissy says caramel. Coin number 39 now goes to Eric. Coin number 39 is this one right here. Unfortunately, not running into any of the double dies I was hoping to find in this roll. But that's just the behavior of 1984D. Not only do you have a number of severe quality control issues with 1984D, but it is also rather unlikely to find good die varieties in there. But we can find the formality of your company. So it depends on how formal your statement is that you're using the word caramel or caramel. When I was young, I was taught that they had 2 different meanings. So you can blame that on my upbringing, but caramel was candy. Caramel is a color. Caramel colored blah blah. So your caramel colored glasses. Or caramel in your coffee. Salted caramel. Caramel colored. See where I'm going with that? Caramel coloring is that medium brown color that you get when you mix just the right amount of cream with just the right amount of coffee. But mixing cream and coffee does not get you caramel, it gets you caramel. Good evening, Mr. Adams. This is our 3rd time going through this. Our first time it was a bad roll. Second time I had to cut short and take my wife into town. We got back and here we are for the 3rd stretch. But welcome to you nonetheless, Mr. Adams. we are not having luck with this roll today. Number 43 goes to Parviz. Anybody who happens to get a rather gem coin out of this roll, you got a goodie. Really nice gem coins. 1984 D is not typical. You don't see them often. In fact, I think if you'll look in the price guides, a very high grade 1984 D Lincoln Cent is a valuable item. Caramel food coloring. Beaver anal excretions, you think? Just so I know, they're beaver anal excretions. Okay. Caramel food coloring. And here I always thought caramel food coloring came from boiling sugar down to a syrupy consistency. Hey, don't you go away there, camera. You still got work to do. Here's coin number 45, going back to Parviz again. Parviz got a quite ordinary coin. And the reverse is rather nice. Yeah, right. Thanks, Carl. That's a TMI thing. Just the facts, ma'am. Coin number 46 goes to Mr. Sappington. Mr. Richard, let's see what you got here, brother. Not so good the once we get into it here. Misa not like this roll very much. Makes my teeth hurt just thinking about peanut brittle. Used to eat it when I was a little kid. Not anymore. Don't get along with it all that well anymore. Of course, I'm not very much of a caramel eater. Wife comes home with that salted caramel, chocolate-coated salted caramel, and she knows it's all for her because I don't touch that stuff. Don't touch that dial. After these messages, we'll be right back. Well, Sissy, I think it's an accent thing. I think it's how you said it. You doing talk to text? Is that why it says damned and not damned? I have that problem too. Oftentimes I'm not speaking English well enough for my phone apparently to understand it. I can say the same thing 4 times and my phone gets it wrong every one of those 4 times. And the reason you're doing talk to text is because you're busy doing something else and you don't have time to stop and try retyping everything you're trying to say. So I sometimes find the talk to text thing a feature that is quite useless on phones. Oh, peanut brittle is good stuff. The art of making it has become sort of lost. Point number 49 now. 49 goes to Mr. Jim Fletcher. Mr. Fletcher. And let's see what we have here. Relatively decent 1984 D, but this one is not a die variety. Not a die variety. At all. At all. Your accent doesn't flow through your fingers. Okay. So then the answer to that question is you just can't type. That's all right, though. I've got some big news coming out this week about the auction they're going to be doing this weekend of Stuart Blaze Lincoln Cent collection. Coins that they had expected to sell in the thousands are selling in the tens to hundreds of thousands. Could easily set records for Lincoln Cent sales. That's it. There's coin number 50 for Otis, and we have a 50 coin skunker. But it's okay. We had a chance to visit and talk with each other anyway, right? And tomorrow is when I get into doing the 1947 roll. 1947. And then I'll have a 1945S roll. Then there will be the other two rolls that I had planned, 1943D and 1940, let's see, what was it, 1937S, that's right. Those will be coming up over the weekend. Got the auction coming up tomorrow. Expect to do, quite a number of coins during the auction tomorrow. When a roll goes south, I start to wander in my talk. Yeah. But I don't usually talk about beaver excrement. But, hey, yeah, whatever pops up, right? Whatever happens to show up in conversation. Let's see. What do I have going on? Here's the 1909S that I will have up for auction. That is a VF. It's a lower end VF, but it is a VF. It's a 1909S. I'll have some other nice ones up for auction this week. We've got probably about 25 single coins. We've got 7 graded coins. We've got 2 albums. Number of nifty things will be coming up. The auction tomorrow. Going to be doing a singles pool sale. And that is for BU wheats or uncirculated wheats. I have a list, if I can find it, that I had to go by in getting people permanently added. So I know I'll find it. I just don't have it available to me right now to call it out. But and I've got a couple of other people who want it in already, and I have them in on the list so far. Guess I'll publish what that list consists of tomorrow so people don't try to buy in twice. But whatever the final count of coins sold for tomorrow is, I'm going to divide that in half and do 2 shows with it. They will happen probably Friday and Saturday evening. Other than that, I got nothing, folks. I appreciate it. You guys have a great night and a great week if I don't see you before then. Be sure to remember also that there will be an auction on Sunday. I have a show to go to on Saturday. We'll see what I can pull from that show. It'll be up in Raleigh, so it's kind of a local show. Go out and go home the same day. All right, folks, you guys have a great night, and I'll talk to you later.